Urgent Dallas Cowboys FANS. Do not miss this. What just happened? You won't believe this one. But before we reveal the big news, make sure to subscribe to the channel because here we bring you daily videos with the latest Dallas Cowboys updates. And to not miss anything, activate the notifications. Hey Cowboys Nation, today we've got a story that's stirring up a lot of buzz around the league. And if you're a true Dallas Cowboys fan, you definitely want to stay tuned because this could have serious implications for how the team approaches the rest of the offseason, heading into training camp and even the regular season. We're talking about potential roster moves, trade rumors, and a player that could really shake things up if he ends up in Dallas, and the name might surprise you. But before we get into all the details, let's set the scene for what's been happening around the Cowboys lately, because it's been a fascinating roller coaster ride. The Cowboys have been actively searching for ways to bolster their defense this preseason. It's no secret that the defense, especially the secondary and pass rush, was a concern last year. They've been bringing in new players, testing different combinations, and trying to find that perfect chemistry that can propel them back into serious playoff contention. But interestingly, it's not just the defensive side of the ball that's drawing attention. The offense, which has been a staple of the Cowboys' identity for years, might also see some shakeups, especially in the backfield. And that's what's got everyone talking right now, the possibility of a trade that could change the landscape of this team. Now on the trade block, there's a player who's been generating quite a bit of chatter, Kaleb Johnson, a running back from the Pittsburgh Steelers. If you've been following the NFL, you know the name and you know the story. Johnson was a highly touted prospect coming out of Iowa, where he dominated college football, rushing for over 700 yards and 30 touchdowns in his college career. He was a big part of that Iowa offense, a bruising runner who averaged more than 5 yards per carry and had that combination of power and finesse that scouts love. Coming into the NFL, expectations were high, and in his rookie year he showed flashes of potential, but unfortunately he didn't quite get the opportunity he was hoping for. Last season, Johnson had a challenging rookie campaign, just 69 rushing yards, averaging only 25 yards per carry. That's a tough start for a guy with such high hopes, and by the end of the season, he found himself as a healthy scratch more often than not. The Steelers, who have a solid but crowded backfield with Jaylen Warren and Kenneth Gainwell, have not been shy about exploring options. Rumors indicate that Johnson could be a cut candidate in Pittsburgh, especially now that Gainwell has moved on in free agency and Rico Dowdle, a former Cowboy, has been signed. It's a situation that might make Johnson available for trade, and the Cowboys, with their history of trading for former high draft picks at a low point, seem like a natural fit. And here's where it gets really interesting. Zachary Rotman of Fansided has pointed out that Dallas could be the perfect landing spot for Johnson, especially as they look to add some depth to their running back room. The Cowboys currently have Javonte Williams as their starter, coming off a significant injury, and behind him, they're competing with guys like Jadon Blue, Phil Maffa, Malik Davis, Israel Abanikanda, and Jashon Corbin. But the truth is, Johnson could very well carve out a role for himself if he joins Dallas, especially given his physical style of play. He's built like a bruiser, but he's also got that finesse element, that ability to hit the holes quickly and make defenders miss with his decisiveness and tempo. Now I want you to pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Dallas Cowboys news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. What makes Johnson an intriguing target for Dallas isn't just his running style, but also his potential fit within their offensive system. The Cowboys have shown in recent years that they like versatile backs who can contribute in multiple ways. Johnson's ability to catch passes out of the backfield, although not his strongest suit, is still a plus, and his physicality can complement the speed and agility of players like Williams. Dallas's offensive line, which has been solid if not spectacular, could give Johnson the space he needs to run between the tackles and break out some long runs. But here's the catch: Johnson's pass protection needs work. That's often the sticking point for backs trying to earn a bigger role on a new team, especially in the complex Dallas offense that demands a lot from its running backs in terms of blocking. Still, with some coaching and development, he could become a reliable third-down option or even a change-of-pace back that keeps defenses honest. And let's not forget, the Cowboys love to spot talent late in the draft or off the waiver wire and develop them into key contributors. Remember how Tony Pollard started as an unheralded player and became one of the league's most explosive runners? Johnson could be that kind of project. From the Steelers' perspective, Johnson is currently near the bottom of their depth chart, possibly even a cut candidate. With the addition of other players like Travis Homer, who has shown versatility, and the emergence of younger backs like Blue and Maffa, Johnson's window to prove himself in Pittsburgh is closing. That's why a trade makes sense for both sides. The Steelers could recoup some value for him, and the Cowboys could get a player with upside at a bargain price. It's a classic case of a team looking to rebuild and find hidden gems that can fit into their system without breaking the bank. Now, let's talk a little about the bigger picture. The Cowboys have been meticulous in their offseason plan. They've addressed key areas, but the roster still has some spots that need bolstering, especially on defense, where they've been active in trying to improve their pass rush and secondary. But adding a running back like Johnson could give them that extra punch in the backfield, especially if Williams faces any setbacks or injuries, which, let's be honest, is always a concern with a player coming off a major injury. The story here is really about opportunity. Johnson, coming from a powerhouse college program and showing flashes of what he can do, just needs that chance to prove himself. Dallas, on the other hand, needs depth and potential upside, especially behind Williams, who's still relatively unproven as a full-time starter after his injury. This kind of move could be a low-risk, high-reward scenario that the Cowboys love to explore. And knowing Jerry Jones and his history of making bold moves, it wouldn't be a surprise if this rumor turns into reality. Let's not forget what this means for fans. The Cowboys are always looking to improve, and every offseason there's a lot of speculation about trade targets, draft picks, and roster cuts. But the real excitement comes when new players arrive in Dallas and start making a difference. Whether Johnson ends up in blue and silver or stays in Pittsburgh, the fact that the Cowboys are considering these kinds of moves shows how serious they are about competing at the highest level this year. And as we approach training camp, every little detail, every roster rumor, every potential signing becomes a part of the larger story of this team's quest for a Super Bowl. Cowboys fans, you know how unpredictable this franchise can be. They've been through highs and lows, but what's always been consistent is that the team is never afraid to shake things up if it means getting closer to that ultimate goal. So keep your eyes peeled, because if Johnson or any other trade candidate joins Dallas, it could be a game changer. And now, Dallas Cowboys fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Dallas Cowboys. Do you think Johnson has what it takes to succeed in Dallas? Would you like to see Jerry Jones pull the trigger on this trade? Or do you think the team should focus on other areas of improvement? Remember, your voice helps shape the conversation, and we love engaging with all of you. As always, I'll be back soon with more updates, rumors, and analysis, because this offseason is just getting started and the Cowboys are always at the center of it all. So stay tuned, subscribe if you haven't already, activate those notifications, and let's keep riding this Cowboys wave together. Thanks for watching, and until next time, go Cowboys.